Can you put your hand at your chest, please? Please say hello, Venerable Sir.
Hello,
Hello,
Venerable
Venerable
Sir.
Sir.
Nice, hello everybody. So let's sit in a comfortable meditation posture. And live streaming. Still waiting. So we are still not ready. And we are still not ready. So we are still waiting. We are still waiting. We are still waiting. We are very patient. Amazing! So now we can sit in a comfortable meditation posture. Make sure your back is erect. We will meditate with opened eyes. And we make the first determination in our minds voicelessly. From now on, for 10 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on, for 10 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. From now on, for 10 minutes, I will meditate on muscles and radiate loving kindness without any movement. And with that determination, we can gently, lovingly notice there's a flat piece of flesh at the top of the head. We allow it to be heavy. We continue in this manner to the forehead, eyes, nose, lips, chin, cheeks, ears, back of the head. We allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the head to be happy. And changing. We continue to the neck, shoulders, arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, palms, fingers, tips of fingers, chest, abdomen, back, we allow all of the muscles and flesh throughout the upper part of the body to be heavy and changing. We continue to the buttocks, thighs, knees, calves, heels, soles, toes, tips of toes. We allow all of the muscles and sinews throughout the body to be happy and changing. As we allow the body to be the way it is, we achieve freedom from worry about the body. Let's enjoy this freedom. Let's watch this peace. Now we can share our peace with other living beings. May all beings, including me, be in peace. Now, because the time for this sitting is finished, let's make the last determination in our minds voicelessly. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. From now on, I will always be calm. And with that determination, we can slowly, mindfully change the way of our sitting. And we can take one more minute to enjoy the peace we gained in meditation. Alright, so I would like to ask everybody to come closer and to grade your meditation experience 0 to 10. 0 is the worst, 10 is the best. Okay, so you have 15 seconds more. Come and grade right away. Okay, so you need to be fast to grade, otherwise we'll be progressing slowly. So I will share with you my table of 5 precepts. Hmm. So everybody can unmute. I'm having some weird technical problems. Alright. So I think we can start. You can keep your hands together at the chest. Yamahang vadami tang vadetha. Aham bhante. Tisaranena saha. Panchasilang dhammang yajami. Anuggahang katva. Silang deta me bhante. Anukampang upadaya. Ditiyampi aham bhante. Tisaranena saha. Panchasilang dhammang yajami. Anuggahang katva. Silang deta me bhante. Anukampang upadaya. Tatiyampi aham bhante. Tisaranena saha. Panchasilang dhammang yajami. Anuggahang katva. Silang deta me bhante. Anukampang upadaya. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhang saranang gacchami, dhammang saranang gacchami, sanghang saranang gacchami.
Buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami,
Dutiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, Dutiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Turiyapi buddhang saranang gacchami, Dhammang saranang gacchami, Sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyampi buddhang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
Tatiyanpi buddhang gacchami, Tatiyampi dhammang saranang gacchami, Tatiyampi sanghang saranang gacchami.
As much as possible, see if you can follow exactly the same speed as in which I'm reciting. Sarana-gamanang paripunnang. So I will ask you about the precepts. So let's see. Jikiwa. What is the first precept?
No killing.
That's right. Panati pata vera manisikha padang samadhiyami. So, Kai Nguyen, what is the second precept? Yeah, you're already unmuted. That's right. Adinadana vera manisikha padang samadhiyami. So, Bennett, what is the third precept? You're already unmuted. Just say it. Bennett, what is the third precept? You can tell us. If you know, tell us. If you don't know, sorry?
No sex.
Okay, very well. Kame sumichha chara vera manisikha padang samadhiyami. So, Livia, what is the fourth precept?
No telling lies. No telling lies.
That's right. Musavada vera manisikha padang samadhiyami. And Wembowa, what is the fifth precept?
No drugs and no drinking alcohol.
Yes, no taking drugs or drinking alcohol. Wembowa, when we are talking together, you see I'm sitting. I wish that you sit also. Thank you. Sura meraya majjapamadatthana vera manisikha padang samadhiyami. Okay. Wembowa, are you ill?
I'm good.
I don't hear you.
I'm good.
You're good? Okay, if you're good, please maintain your posture erect, nicely sitting like everybody else. If you're ill, it's no problem. If you're not, please keep it sitting. Tisaranena sadhing panchasilang dhammang sadhukang surakhitang gatva appamadena sampadetham. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you soon attain the eternal bliss of Nibbana. Okay, so That's pretty successful. Exactly 30 minutes. Exactly 30 minutes. That was, I think, our best success so far. So we are now going to review. Last time we were watching the video with the Buddha. So who can tell me what was the last portion we were actually talking about? What was the last thing that we mentioned regarding the life of the Prince Buddha, Buddha to be Wembowa? What is it?
So the Buddha, I forgot the
Sorry?
name, died. The Buddha that I forgot the name died, and then that mom went to that golden place. After that, the elephant went to her belly, and then she got birth.
Yeah, but where? But what happened when the Buddha to be? I'm actually asking about our last lesson before watching the video. So in our last lesson before watching the video, we were talking about what happened to the Buddha to be, to the prince, at the moment when he exited the belly of his mom. So that's what I'm now especially interested in. So Robert, can you tell us about that?
Talked and he said, "I'm the best in all of the world. I am he walked in all the directions, and then said, "I'm the best in the world, the most powerful in the world. This is my last life. There will be no more rebirth for me."
Yes. So the main point there was that this is his last life. The fact that he is the best in the world means that he is the one who can teach the Dhamma. So we need to remember the interpretation of those statements. Alex, is there anything you would like to add?
Yeah, wasn't he called Medicine Boy?
No, that was in his previous life. In the life before he became the god. The god. I always forget that name. So. Yes, before he became the god in the world of Tusita, and then he became the Prince Gautama. So several lives before that. It was actually not exactly the life before the god life. It is one of the previous lives. So we are now talking about the Buddha to be's last life, and in his last life he was not. Up to my understanding, he did not provide any ointment or any liquid or powder medicine to anyone. Maybe he did, but I'm not aware of that. JKY, you have anything more you'd like to tell us?
He took 7 steps.
That's right. He did take 7 steps. Do you know? Can you tell us anything more about that? About taking those steps?
The humans saw him floating with clothes on.
That's right. But in reality,
he was taking 7 steps.
Yes. So you said humans saw him, that he was levitating above the ground, and that he had clothes. And is there anything more you can tell us about that?
No.
No. So anyone else would like to say? Baolam, you could raise your Zoom hand if you want to raise your Zoom hand. No, you are not raising your hand? Okay. Anyone else can tell us anything about the event? Nathan?
That humans saw him floating in the air with full clothes on, but in reality, he was
he was not, he was naked and just walking on land like a regular person, and he could also talk, and he looked in all of the sides, north, west, south, east, northern, west, northern, east, western, south, and east, southern, east, and up and down, but they all said the same thing.
Okay, very well. And there is one more thing that I'm missing regarding the appearance of the little baby, Bodhisattva, and during his making 7 steps. Does anybody know? Yes, Alex?
If I recall correctly, I think there was like lotus flowers popping out.
That's in the movie, not in the book. Anything else? Was there about his bodily appearance?
Oh yeah, in the book it said he appeared like a teenager,
But
but in reality he was like a baby.
he was a baby. Amazing. Thank you very much. So that's pretty good for the repetition. And now we can move on in the story. Seems like today we are pretty good with time. Something interesting is happening. All right, so it says we have finished here. Okay, that probably is it. So the queen returned back to Kapilavatthu, and the citizens were very happy about that. And now the deities, they were rejoicing. Oh, the Buddha to be is born. At that time, Kaladevila, that's his name, Kaladevila, the hermit who had gained the 5 higher knowledges. That means he was somebody, who doesn't live with their family anymore, who doesn't have a home or house, and instead they live in the forest and they meditate and they dedicate themselves to following strict rules and having little amount of clothes, little amount of food, eating little, sleeping little, meditating a lot, and usually they will be traveling from place to place. Now this hermit, however, he not only was like that, so he was a hermit, so he lived in the forest and so on, but he already had 5 psychic powers. Now 5 higher knowledges are 5 psychic powers. That means he was able to fly in the air, he was able to disappear and appear somewhere else, he was able to remember his past lives, he was able to know what's happening anywhere in the world by his special knowledge, or to hear anything of that kind. He was able to know your thoughts if you think about something without telling him at all. So he also attained 8 attainments, which are so-called 8 jhanas. So he attained very, very deep concentration in his meditation practice, and he usually would come to the palace of the king Suddhodana for meal. So he would take his meal there, and then he would go back to a heaven. And he actually traveled by his psychic powers. He flew into the heaven as a human being, and this human being, Kaladevila the hermit, he would then meditate in Tavatimsa, in that heaven. All right, and then he would come back again to earth for meal, and then again go to the heaven. So just like when you go to school, he went to visit the heaven, and they're very powerful. Actually, quite a few monks and years were able to visit the heaven and meditate there. So that means he visited it by his physical body, not just some imaginations or something that he sees in meditation at all. He would disappear from this world, appear in the heaven, and then after one day he would appear in this world again, go for meal, have the meal, and then again disappear and appear in the heaven, just like when you go to school every day. So he sat down on the throne of gems to enjoy the deep level of concentration. Then when he rose up, that means when he finished his strong concentration, he then looked here and there, and he saw the king of gods, Sakka, and the other gods to play with their clothes and and praising the Buddha to be on the celestial main road of 60 yojana length. So they would be actually on a road. Indeed, there are roads. I have a friend who is able to visit heavens, and he's not visiting them physically, just in his mind. But let's say that it seems to be so, that he really does visit those heavens. And he said that when he visited the heaven, he actually had to go along a road. And then after that road, he turned to one place, and there he saw a man god enjoying with many lady gods in a swimming pool. They were a little surprised to see a monk, because, you know, gods, when they enjoy sensual pleasures, that's rather a private thing. But that's what he saw. And then he was dealing with that problem, that they're surprised that he came there, and like, what does he do there, and where did he come from, and whatever. The hermit then asked, "O Devas," so the hermit, Kaladevila, who was meditating in the heaven and coming for meal to the king Suddhodana, he asked the gods, "O gods, what makes you so happy and so playful? Tell me the reason." And so they said, "Venerable sir, a noble son has been born to King Suddhodana today." King Suddhodana, hopefully you remember, is by that time the father of the little Buddha to be. That noble son, sitting cross-legged under the Asata Bodhi tree at the most sacred spot, the center of the universe, will attain omniscient self-enlightenment. Yeah, there is a little joke, you know, in Germany, that actually right here is the center of the universe, and dare to argue about that. That's the point, that you actually we do not really have a center of the universe. Even scientists did not find it, so you can make jokes about it, because wherever you point, there is potentially the center of the universe. Now, the thing is that it is the center of the universe in the sense of being the source of Dhamma for all of the universe. So that has not happened yet. This is what is coming to happen. So it's still in the level of hope and expectation. So then he will deliver the teaching on the turning the wheel of Dhamma. This is definitely not correct, so we'll have to correct it. Let's make some correction. This word must be there, turning the wheel of Dhamma. And then they will get this opportunity to see and listen the Buddha as he's teaching this teaching of introducing the living beings, the world, into the truth. And what's the truth? The truth is that it is possible to get free from all suffering, and the truth also includes the way to do that. So after exchanging words of greetings with the king, so then, you know, the hermit came to the king to see the newborn son, and he says, "O king, I have heard that a noble son has been born to you. I'd like to see him." And so the son was carried to the hermit so that he pays respect to the hermit. But, surprise, the child does not pay respect to the hermit. When this child was carried, instead, the feet of the Buddha to be, he lifted them, and he rested the feet on the hair of the hermit. Okay, and because he was probably very light skin colored, it looked like lightning flashed on the top of dark blue clouds. Now the point is here that it was the hermit who had to pay respect to the little baby. Why would a hermit pay respect to a little baby? Well, because the little baby is the best in the world, right? We already talked about it. So obviously the hermit would be paying respect to the baby and not the other way. The problem is that if the hermit, by whatever accident, well, not accident probably, but if the hermit paid respect, if the baby by whatever accident paid respect to the hermit's head would split into 7 pieces. So out of compassion, the baby put his legs over on the hair of the hermit to prevent such a disaster. So then, rising from his seat, the hermit, he rose up from his sitting place and he paid respect to the baby with his hands clasped. Hands clasped means we put the hands together at the chest. Or in the Buddha's time, it seems they did not really put them at the chest. They put them above the head. All right. So if you truly put your hands together, you would actually put them above the head. But it's a little bit uncomfortable because if you're supposed to see something or say something to someone, then it's not easy to hear you because you block your voice by the hands in front of your mouth. So culturally, usually we will keep our hands in front of our chest, and then after we say the things, we put the hands above our head and then down. So witnessing this marvelous scene, so the king saw how the hermit is paying respect to the baby, something unheard of, something truly incredible. The king himself paid respect to the baby. So the dad paid respect to the son. But be careful, the son was the best in the universe. So there is no way how any one of us could be even comparably as good as him. No way. Sorry. Kaladevila's act of laughing and weeping. So Kaladevila then was wondering, who is this baby? And he inspected the characteristics of this baby, and he saw that this baby will become a Buddha one day. And with that knowledge, he was so happy. He thought, oh, that's so great. Finally, this world has got the method. It has got the door to be freed from all birth, old age, illness, and death. But then the hermit was wondering, so will I be able to actually hear the teachings of the Buddha when the baby becomes the Buddha? And he saw that he won't. Why? Well, because he will be dead by that time. And he will be born in a special heaven where nobody can hear anyone. He will be born in the heaven without matter. And we understand sound as a characteristic of matter, and therefore, because there is no matter in that world where the hermit will be born, he would not be able to listen to the Buddha. So he realized through his special wisdom that he will be born in the immaterial world, so the world without matter, and so he will not teach. He will not listen to the teaching. I will not get an opportunity of seeing and paying obeisance, of paying respect to this man of marvel, who is endowed with the unique merits of the perfections. This will be a great loss for me. So saying and being filled with immense grief, Kaladevila wept. He was weeping. Okay, so here we have some explanation of the weeping and so on. So having answered thus, Kaladevila the hermit was thinking, though I will miss the Buddha to be's attainment of Buddhahood, at least somebody among my relatives may have the opportunity to see it. So he cannot see it, but at least somebody in his family may, right? So let's go help them. So he saw that his nephew Nalaka, okay, his nephew Nalaka might be actually able to live by the time that the Buddha to be becomes a Buddha, learn the teachings from the Buddha, and maybe even liberate himself from all suffering. And so, this needs to be underlined. So he visited his sister's place to get to see his nephew, and he says, "My dear nephew Nalaka, the birth of a son has taken place in the palace of King Suddhodana. He is a bodhisattva. All right, he will attain Buddhahood after passing the age of 35. Who is he? Who is he? Anybody will tell me who is the he here?
His nephew.
And that's wrong. Any other try? Who is he? If it's not the nephew, who could it be? Oh, you're raising hand. That's amazing. Franklin. Franklin, I'm listening. Cannot hear anything. Franklin, you're muted.
I accidentally raised my hand.
I didn't get that. Let's see if Edward can tell me who is he.
Setaketu.
No, not at all. Yes, Robert?
The Buddha, because Ketu was the Buddha to be's last life in his God form or Dhamma form.
So who is he?
The Buddha to be.
The Buddha to be. That's what I want to say. That's what I want to hear. Thank you very much. That's exact. You could say it's the Setaketu, but not really Setaketu, right? Setaketu is now dead by that time, and he is, instead we get the Buddha to be. So Setaketu's life is already gone because that was life in heaven. Then he died, and he was born. He was born again as a human, as the prince Buddha to be, the prince Siddhartha. We still didn't have the naming ceremony, so we'll be looking at it maybe the next lesson. But he here is the little baby. Okay, so the little baby Bodhisattva will attain Buddhahood after passing the age of 35. Okay, not the nephew. Nephew can attain Arahanthood. We will probably discuss Arahanthood later, but for the time being, Buddha is the master, and remember, Arahants are the students. It's much more complicated. It's not accurate, but it should be enough for this moment. You, my nephew, are somebody deserving of seeing the Buddha. Therefore, you had better become a recluse right now. Right now, even today. You see that? Even today. Let's call him uncle. So the uncle comes to the nephew and he says, "You know what, nephew, this little baby will become the Buddha. You need to see him." And by that time, you already should be an experienced recluse. Become a recluse right now, or latest today. All right. So think about it. So he has to become a monk already today. Now the Buddha already passed away, but the Buddha's teachings is still available. So when shall you become monks and nuns? All right. So the nephew, what he did, though born to the parents of 87 crores. So remember, this is a special word. Crore. Crore means 10 million. Crore means 10 million. Third time I'm saying it. Crore means 10 million. So if it is 87 crores, it means 870 million. And you can take whatever currency you want, but usually we understand one in the Buddha's time as $1. So it would be $87 million worth of wealth. The young Nalaka had confidence in his uncle, yes, so it was his uncle, and thought, my uncle would not have urged me to do what is not beneficial. He did so, my uncle did so, my uncle urged me to become a monk because it is very beneficial indeed. With this conclusion, the nephew had the robes and the alms bowl bought and brought, probably by his servants in the house, immediately from the market. He shaved his hair and beard, he took on the robes, and he said, now I'm a recluse. But be careful, you cannot do that in Buddhism, all right? Don't do that. You must have a teacher. You cannot just take robes and bowl and become a recluse after the Buddha is a Buddha, all right? Cannot. You need to find a teacher and you need to become a monk under the instruction of the teacher. Okay, it's very important. If you become a monk without a teacher, you may be doing some things that are not suitable or that are not correct, and you don't even know it. If you have a teacher, there is a higher probability that the teacher will admonish you and guide you and help you so that you gradually learn how to be a dignified, an honest and true and smart and well-behaving and wise and patient, trained monk, so that you bring inspiration to everybody who's talking with you, everybody who's dealing with you. And of course, when you are a good monk, if you meditate, if you practice the Buddha's teachings, there is a high probability that you will achieve the ultimate goals of the Buddha's teachings. So, having said thus, he faced to the direction of Kapilavatthu, where the Bodhisattva was, and he made obeisance, that means he paid respect, by raising his clasped hands in fivefold veneration. So, how do you do fivefold veneration? Fivefold veneration is when you touch the floor by the forehead, both palms, and both elbows. And then you raise the head and hands, and again you keep your hands clasped above your head, and you again go down to the floor and touch the floor by your elbows, palms, and the forehead. So they're fivefold. Why? Because it's two elbows, two palms, one forehead, altogether 5 points. But there is also another fivefold veneration which he could not do. And what is the one? That's the other fivefold, and that's when you meet a living person. So then you're supposed to arrange your clothes on your body. So make sure that your clothes are well arranged on your body. Then you put your hands above your head. Then you face the teacher or the monk, and then you rub their feet. So you have to touch their feet with your hands, and you rub them. And you rub them with the love towards the teacher and the respect towards the teacher. So these 5 things. So first is put your hands above the head. Arrange the clothes. Put the hands above your head. Rub the teacher's feet. Keep your mind on the love towards your teacher and on the respect towards the teacher. So in India, until today, it's actually very common that among hermits and ascetics and those who left their home to meditate in the forests and jungles and on mountains and in caves and on deserts, they when they see their teacher, they will touch the feet of the teacher. Today, however, we don't do that so much. Instead, we touch the floor so that the teacher doesn't feel uncomfortable, because some feel uncomfortable when people touch their feet. So thereafter, he put his bowl in a bag. He slung it on his shoulder. Maybe you have seen me ever wearing my bowl on my shoulder. I can show you how that looks like. So yes, and then he entered Himalaya. So we will continue next time. I will now show you my bowl and how I wear that. So this is my bowl. This is my alms bowl. Inside there is a bowl. Map for you. So this is the cover of the bowl, and then inside there is a bowl like this. And this is from what I eat. This is my plate. So like you eat from plate, I eat from the bowl. Okay? And that bowl is in this bag here. So I put it in the bag. Then I have to cover it by the cover. And then I have here a little sling. So I put that over my shoulder. And then I carry the alms bowl on my shoulder. All right. So this is how Nalaka, the nephew of Kaladevila, took a bowl, put it in a bag, and then he slung it. Or he slung it on his shoulder. All right? So let's write a little note about this. Those of you who want to go to sleep, you can, but please make sure that you will write down the note. We'll share it in the Viber group. So everybody can write down the date. Make sure you have your notebooks. We will write the date. Today is November 11, 2023. For those who are in US or Jamaica. And it's November 10, 2023 for those who are now in Vietnam or in Myanmar. Today we don't have Ray, right? So we don't have anybody from Myanmar. Yes, Cherry?
I think you flipped it because in the US right now, today is the 10th. Yes, today is Friday for me. I'm in America.
Oh, that's right.
It's the 10th.
Thank you.
Yeah, me too. I'm in America.
Guys, the 10th.
It's the 10th.
Very well. So we have November 11, 2023 in Vietnam, in Myanmar, and we have November 10, 2023, USA, Jamaica. Thank you very much for the correction, Cherry. And so this one will be the hermit, how will we call it? The hermit Kaladevila meets the baby Buddha to be. That's the heading, and the notes are coming soon. Okay, that's all. It's not little, but so far that's the shortest version I can make for you. Crixus, have you finished the writing?
What writing?
So Crixus, now you are writing notes from what I was explaining about the Buddha's life. Do you have a notebook, Crixus?
I think he joined late because he probably didn't see the text about the time.
Okay. So Crixus, can you see the comments in the chat box?
No.
Okay, so I'll send them again. So first you need to remember to write the date. Today is November 10, 2023 in the US or Jamaica. And then you can see the note together. So this is what we went through. If you write it down, you'll get pretty well the gist of what we talked about. So even though you are just writing notes, I wish that your video is on. Otherwise, unfortunately, we will have to remove you from the meeting. So make sure your video is on throughout the time of the meeting. Sometimes I turn it off, but that's just for a few seconds or minutes until I resolve the problem, and then I have it on back.
What about sir?
Yes.
Can I leave now? Can I do the worst paragraph? Can I do the worst of the paragraph tomorrow?
Yes, please. You can continue writing the notes tomorrow. Thank you very much. Good night.
Goodbye, Venerable Sir. Venerable Sir, can I leave now? I'll continue later.
Yes, please. When? Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or today. Goodbye, Venerable
Okay.
Sir.
Those who are in Vietnam, however, will benefit more if you continue in the notes, in writing. If you're in the US, I can understand because it's late at night.
Venerable Sir, can I leave now?
So, did you finish writing the notes?
No, but I will do it tomorrow.
Perfect. Very nice. Thank you.
Goodbye, Venerable
Yes,
Sir.
goodbye.
Venerable Sir,
Yes.
can I leave now?
Have you finished writing the notes?
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Okay. Goodbye, Venerable
See you
Sir.
next week.
Venerable Sir, I'm done with the
Nice. Goodbye.
sir.
Venerable Sir, I'm finished writing. I'm leaving.
Nice.
Goodbye, Venerable Sir.
Thank you very much.
I cannot see the letter on the checkbox.
Yes. So, have you already written something? Have you already written
No, I
something?
don't see anything.
No, nothing yet? Okay.
Yes.
So, you did not write even the date yet?
No,
did you?
I just
Okay, you just came. Okay, so first make sure that you write the correct date, November 11, 2023. And then comes the note. So, can you see it? Okay.
Yes, I can see. Okay, thanks.
So, Tutam, can you please take over? I will do my work here. So, it was a pleasure to see everybody, and I hope to see you next week. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be successful in everything you do.
Thank you very much, Bante. Everyone, can you play unmute? Can you put your hand at your chest together and say goodbye, Venerable Sir?
Goodbye, Venerable Sir.
Nice, goodbye.